Hi, and welcome to the Akashic Records Academy. I am your Akashic Records consultant and trainer, Karishma Manchanda. I welcome you to this exclusive podcast on everything Akashic. Based on my understanding of this template of spiritual evolution, the blueprint of evolution of our soul consciousness through each of the 4 stages, it is easier to navigate when you know which stage you truly are at. Note that your honesty and self-evaluation holds the key to your success as you pass through each stage of evolution. The way our earth plane is landscaped holds the fundamental key to experiencing oneness through contrasting experiences of life, and the emotions you go through each day. Posing extremities of duality and then recognizing oneness in the concept of existence may seem to be the toughest possible thing to make peace with, but trust me, once you can develop your perspective and reframe the lens through which you judge your experiences, life will never be the same again. Each stage of the spiritual evolution laid down below is prescribed based on the mindsets and behavior patterns that you must cultivate, while releasing those that are no longer significant in the next stage. Evolution itself is defined as a process by which unusual species of living organisms are believed to have developed from earlier forms during the history of the Earth. To become the better version of yourself, you must be willing to shed away the layers of dust and debris that no longer serves you, the old patterns of beliefs and behaviors which must be released from your energy system to progress from one state to the other. However, at this stage, it must be noted that no one is less than or more than the other in the journey of soul evolution. Each person is exactly where he or she must be, including you and me. The Creator is never unjust or incorrect. The Creator can never be wrong or even capable of creating something that is not in the highest best of its creation. But with limited perception and understanding, you may at times fail to understand the marvels of the chaos, the beginning of the creation of a new you when the waters are most turbulent. It must be noted that chaos is only a sign that something needs to be changed. And that change will happen when you choose to allow the Creator to make it happen to you. It is a compulsion for me to reiterate here that the Creator cannot do anything for you that it cannot do through you. So, the underlying question I have for you is: are you ready to make that shift happen? Going through this podcast to read now is not by chance. Why do you think out of so many recordings in this world today, you caught hold of this one? There is nothing in this universe that happens as a matter of coincidence. The universe is beautifully orchestrated to be flawless, and everything that happens with a purpose. Whether you may recognize it at this moment or not is a separate point of discussion. Having come this far, it is incumbent on you to realize that you are exactly in the right space and time, going through the exact experiences of life that are needed to go through to evolve as per the divine timings and in the divine order. It is simply amazing when you are consciously aware of the fact that you can create the new you. You always had that option available to you, that there is always a way out of limiting beliefs and constrictive behavioral patterns, and that there is much more to life waiting to be experienced effortlessly only once you are willing to take the personal responsibility to make a difference in what matters. Having worked within the laboratory of my consciousness as well as with many students and counseling clients, I have realized that there seems to be an inner impulsion within us that propels us in the direction of self-discovery. The journey itself is incomprehensible, but the outcome is simply beyond expression. The 4 stages of spiritual development on Earth are meant to serve as an outline or a blueprint and not as an absolute map. Thus, each one of us may move through each stage according to the unique pattern of unfoldment of the individual consciousness, expressed through the soul and the current life experiences. Your stage, situations, beliefs, and patterns are the exclusive identity and expression of your past experiences, and thus comparing it with others or adding judgment may be incorrect. The first stage is where you believe that things are happening to me. The primary phase of profound improvement is the thing that Beckwith calls the "it to me is" stage. It is likewise alluded to as the casualty stage, as it is an early degree of mindfulness where our essential recognition is that life is transpiring. Like a youngster new to the world, or somebody who has not yet taken full duty regarding his or her life, in the "to me" stage we experience the submission of the individuals and conditions of our life. There are times in every one of our lives when we have an inclination that we are forced to bear difficulties, openings, connections, work assignments, and so forth, and keeping in mind that we may have wanted for an alternate situation, at the time it feels as if life is transpiring. Likewise, with every one of the 4 phases, to move to start with one phase and then on to the next. Beckwith reveals to us we should be happy to relinquish something on the way to guaranteeing another part of our identity. To move from the to me phase of our advancement into stage 2, what we should be eager to relinquish is a fault. In the wake of responding, opposing, and accusing others, or life itself, of our situation, in the end, we go to a spot where we are prepared to guarantee, to a greater extent, a feeling of moral obligation, and become even more a generative power in our life. Through decision or need, we make a move and start to encounter ourselves assuming control over issues in our life. The next stage of spiritual evolution and growth is when you believe that things are happening by you, meaning that you become a conscious creator of your reality. Regardless of whether we are completely defended to reprimand others for our present circumstance, there comes when we should understand that if we are making others answerable for our conditions, we are parting with our capacity and restricting our capacity to make major changes. As we let go of the need to accuse anybody, counting ourselves, for where we will be, we open ourselves to move into our next phase of improvement, turning out to be dynamic manifestors of the way we need/should be on. During stage 2, or this by me period of our excursion, we may at first feel extended or tested by our situation, yet this test is regularly what is required for us to burrow further and turn into a causative specialist, we would say. This is the phase of the excursion where we get the opportunity to find that we are unmistakably more fit than we understood. We are not casualties of the situation yet makers of it. This by me phase of improvement is frequently a structure, or reconstructing, stage, where our activities must be grounded, genuine, centered, and self-propelled. Forward leaps in this field regularly require centered assurance, and in some cases sweet. And they leave us with a feeling of individual achievement. I did it. I can do it. In the phase of by me, we move past victimhood and start to rise with a feeling of individual responsibility for whatever we make, acquire, cause, and accomplish. This is an amazing advance on the way. Stage 3 is when you believe that things are happening through you. At the point when we have taken a stab at creating abilities in any movement or try, from music to sports to science, there is a second when we traverse from absolutely engaged exertion to a sentiment of effortlessness and stream with what we are doing. We may have been building abilities and attempting something remarkably similar again and again for a long while when unexpectedly, we go from playing the music to feeling as if the music is playing through us. We go from being the surfer utilizing our abilities to ride the wave, to feeling the vitality of the sea directing our stream upon it. From being the essayist of the story to feeling as if the imaginative substance of the story itself is communicating through our pen onto the page. At the point when we enter through me awareness, we go from a feeling of individual criticalness grounded in our accomplishments, to feeling a feeling of lowliness about being a piece of an option that could be more noteworthy than ourselves. To move from the by me stage into stage 3, what we should be eager to relinquish is our requirement for control. As we let go of being the sole generator and controller of every result, we free ourselves up to find another feeling of trust and connectedness to the greater story/flows/tune prepared to move through us. Now and then the experience of it through me comes as an effortless augmentation of individual effort, and occasionally, it shows up more unexpectedly as we arrive at the constraint of our aptitudes or capacities and must choose the option to give up, freeing ourselves up to be courses or instruments of the higher vigorous powers inside. The final and 4th stage is when you believe that things are happening as you. At the point when we let go of fault and move from our view of life as something that transpires, we start to find our actual force in life happens by me. At the point when we let go of the need to control, we move from our experience of life happening by me, to finding our association with the more noteworthy force where life is happening through me. As we permit our demeanor to combine totally with the vitality we are encountering or making on the planet, we understand we are a piece of the interminable innovative power of the universe, which is communicating and encountering itself individualized as me. I am God/soul/universe/nature/cognizance. As we travel through the third phase of our turn of events and experience a feeling of the more prominent stream traveling through me, reliably throughout everyday life or try, we start to arrive at this fourth jumping off point and the basic however significant acknowledgement that whatever is traveling through me is additionally within me. Like a beam of the sun or a wave in the sea, one recognizes itself as an individualized articulation of this more prominent power, which is currently moving, breathing, and acting on the planet as me. To move past the experience of life happening through me and into the as-me phase of the otherworldly turn of events, what we should be happy to relinquish is our feeling of division. As we do this, or via this, we open ourselves to find the experience of authentic solidarity or unity throughout everyday life and try. We discharge our impression of the unending idea of the universe as causative vitality that exists outside of us, and we open ourselves to encounter this boundless nature in and as our very being. The music, the sea, and the story are not just traveling through me, they are the living articulation of who I am. This is the stream in its most noteworthy sense, and many would state it is our definitive explanation behind being here. So, are you ready to transform into the best version of yourself? Remember that the transformation outside begins with the change inside. If you be interested in instrumenting this massive change in your life, supporting the planet Earth in its quest to move from the third-dimensional to a fifth-dimensional being, and speed up the ascension process, or if are being called to this quest of awakening, I have the link to enroll in my course on Akashic Records in the description box below. I look forward to seeing you there. Namaste.